My name is Sierra Flores and I am the Everyday Educator. Today's video is all about how you can teach yourself or your child or even the neighbor kid, who knows. Teach them how to computer code using Scratch. And so if that's something you're interested in, stick around because that tutorial starts right now. Okay, so you'll see now that I'm on Scratch's website. To get there, you're going to go to, scratch.mit.edu, and you'll get to their home page. Here you'll have the choice of joining, signing in, or just jump right in and start creating. So with this website, it was created to literally teach you how to do the basics of computer coding. And so this is exactly what you will see. And so what I'm going to do now is show you just a few of the little controls, okay? And so this, you choose a sprite, and a sprite is kind of like it's what you're going to be animating, whether it's a character, maybe it's a drawing, something that's going to be animated. So you click here, and then you'll see there are several different categories of sprites that you can choose. All right, let's go fantasy. Let's see what we got here. Dragon, that's pretty cool. Let's do a dragon. Sorry, little Scratch, you're gonna have to go. I want to do a fantasy scene today. All right, and so here you'll see there are different images that I can choose, and so these controls, they they're a lot more technical, but I would still give my students a chance to play around with it to see, well, what is it that these controls do? How can I use them in my scene? Okay. So the next thing that you can draw as well, you can paint. And so whenever you paint, keep in mind that there are different tools and different options for you to use. So for example, here, I'm going to change my color. Let's say that I want to paint red. Let's make like a little fire. Oh, that's beautiful artwork. Fire. Yeah, that's a fire. It's totally fire. And I'm gonna fill it as well. Okay, and you see kind of how it appeared overhead. And so what I want to do, if I want to move the location, I'm now gonna press my cursor and then make a box around this because that lets everything be highlighted. And so now I can move it. And so let me move it like down here. Does that? This is fire. Just go with it. He's breathing fire right now, okay? And so now my dragon is breathing fire. I like how it looks. So I'm going to move on to my backdrop. So I can create my own. I can get a surprise. Or let's see. I'm just going to choose my own. Underwater. Why do I want my dragon underwater? Fantasy. Let's do a castle. Okay, here we are at the castle, and he's breathing fire. Wonderful. Moving on to, you can choose what sound you want to hear, and you can also choose your costumes. And then by costume, it just means, for example, my sprite. Like this is my sprite. What my costume one is this exact scene that you see here. That's my costume one. Now, on to the actual coding. So you'll see that there are, as I scroll through, there are different colors here, and each of them is a different section and has a different function. So we're going to go all the way to the top, the motion. So look very carefully at this, and so you really have to kind of pay attention to what you want them to do. For example, I'm going to click go to, and you can pick where exactly you want them to go. And so right now I am animating my sprite, my fire. You saw it there, but I don't want to. Instead, I want to animate my dragon. So I double click my dragon, and now you'll see in costumes, it's my dragon that's the focus here. And I can do dragon B, I can do dragon C, however, okay? And so I'm actually going to delete this because this dragon actually has fire already, and it looks a lot better than the fire that I drew. If I decide that I don't want this anymore, if I want to code a little bit differently, I can take it and just slide it over to remove it, or I can right click and I can just delete the block. Okay, and so what I want actually is for my dragon to glide to, let's say, random position, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, cool, he glided. And then let's say that I want him to continue gliding, and this time when he glides, I want him to glide up to my mouse pointer. Let's see what that does. Random position and mouse pointer. Great. Let me try it again. Random position and mouse pointer. Okay, I like that. And so what else could we do? So let's go down. Here are the looks. And so if I want him to say hello, or he doesn't even have to say hello, he can say whatever I choose. And then if you have other costumes as well, meaning other characters, you can go down and have him change to whatever dragon, okay? And so I'm going to have him, for example, I'm going to put him as Dragon B. And then let's see what that looks like if I change him to Dragon B. All right. Okay. So we're getting somewhere. And so switch to Dragon B. All right. And then I'm going to switch back to Dragon C. And then let's switch back to Dragon B. And then switch back to Dragon C again. And now let's see what that looks like. Okay, so you see how I just tried all of that and it didn't do what I wanted it to? That's because you have to have an action that is started somewhere. And so I didn't start the action. So right here, I clicked to start that action, but with here, I did not do anything to cause it to change. So I'm going to go to my controls and I'm going to say, do I do if then? Let's make it a click. So let's see. When the space bar is pressed, when the space bar is pressed, switch to Dragon C. And then we will continue that. All right. Space bar is pressed. Let's do the up arrow. And then we will do code this one so that whenever I press the down arrow, he'll change again. So essentially I'm going click in the green, I'm going space, up, down, and let's see what happens. Cool, right? And so with that, your students can easily create some type of a story with this. And so they can even code different scenes if they wanted to code different scenes, all right? And so if this were what I was demonstrating for mastery, I might put that full screen and then I'm gonna get to work. So I'm pressing green and then space and up arrow. All right, and so with this, keep in mind that it was just a mini little tiny tutorial for you to be able to see what are the basics of using Scratch for computer coding. Now, whenever you give this assignment to your students and you let them have time to just explore with this, they are going to learn so many more things, the ins and outs of how to code, and they're going to be teaching you things because there's a lot, honestly, that I didn't even teach my kids. I gave them the foundation and I let them set the bar as high as they chose. And so they even taught me things that I didn't even know. So I hope that you enjoyed that lesson and I hope that you're able to share this with your kids, with other people who might like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the Everyday Educator and, like, comment, share. I will be back next time with an amazing video.